here is Jordan. Inside, Matthews. Count it!
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
And here's Walker outside. Buries the triple.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And so it's the Hornets who come out on top. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. You were just wondering what would happen next. Major drama, and we saw good.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson. Got Shaquille O'Neal, got Kenny the Jet Smith. Without further ado, let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game. He led the way tonight with a double-double and was a major reason why they won tonight. His effort and intensity gave them the boost they needed.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is a leader. He was in attack mode all night, calling for it and delivering in some big plays and baskets. His point total shows everything that I'm talking about. The defense was like, what am I going to do? And he was like, nothing, because I'm toying with you.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.
It's the Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight we'll see the Miami Heat playing against the Toronto Raptors. For the Raptors, on the road they know this is a winnable game, but it won't be easy. A quality team with their home fans behind them, always a tough challenge to overcome. Well, the Raptors have a good collection of scorers that can create their own shot when they want. If you're the coach, Shaq, and the game's on the line, which Raptors getting the ball?
I'm going with DeMar DeRozan. He can create space with his athleticism and get a shot off against anybody, Ernie.
Well, I'm going with Kyle Lowry. He's shown time and time again that he has the ability to knock down shots, and big ones at that, in tough situations.
I'll take either one. That's for sure. Almost game time. We'll see you later.
It's an Eastern Conference battle at the American Airlines Arena here in Miami, Florida, as the Heat look to work the home court advantage. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You look at the Raptors. With most of their upcoming games taking place at home, they have a chance here to make a nice little push.
And they can put themselves into a great position in the season series by winning tonight. They've won the first one, 2 to go after this, so they'd be assured of at least a split.
You know, Greg, if they win the first 2 games of the series, they're not looking for a split. I mean, at that point, they're thinking about a sweep. They can take the next step toward that tonight.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. We've got Jordan. Nash is out there with Carter, and it's Clutch, and it's Abdul-Jabbar in at the 4 spot. Now here's Jordan. Stoudemire grabs the miss. Amari Stoudemire, with a change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
Miami on defense, coming off that loss against the Nets.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court.
Jordan with it. Wade picks him up. Jordan kicks to Nash. Jordan the screen. Here's Matthews. Good, and the assist goes to Nash.
And for Stoudemire last year, served as a backup big for the Mavs and was still as efficient as ever.
Now here's Dragic. Last game he had 13. Stoudemire the screen. Dragic kicks to Wade. To the middle. And Stoudemire gets it to go.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
I don't think Stoudemire will ever be what he once was, but he is a valuable big to bring off the bench for a contending team in limited minutes.
No good from Wade. Raptors are gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. The drive by Jordan. Can't hit. Nice D from Dang.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
There's a good screen. Dragic the pass to Stoudemire. Kicks it to Wade. 6 on the shot clock. Inside. Nick Roberts dishes to Stoudemire. Here's Dragic from outside. Rebounded by Abdul-Jabbar. Toronto trailing. Unloads from 9. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. He'd have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. It's Dragic with the drive, and that one's good.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
Toronto with the ball. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Indeed, this was a tough loss. They faced a serious comeback intensity that just overwhelmed them in that last quarter. Unfortunately, they couldn't stay in the game enough to force an extra session.
I mean, boy, they were close really right up until the finish line. But I thought they were going to get over the hump, but it was not meant to be.
Toronto shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off a team, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
You know, Bosh was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season, and 20 different players started at least one game.
Here is Roberts. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Dragic. Dragic with another miss. Dragic has gone 1 of 3 on the night.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year.
Here's Dang, following the score by Vince Carter. Dragic left side. The dish to Stoudemire. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Stoudemire's got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, I really love the way Dragic spreads that ball around.
Jordan at the elbow. Shot from 12. And again, it's Toronto converting.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Outside Dragic. Feeds it to Stoudemire. And that one comes up a bit short.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
Abdul-Jabbar, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Abdul-Jabbar's got 5 points so far.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Outside Dragic. Stoudemire, the screen, passes it to Deng. Shoots off the screen, no luck. Jordan with some nice D.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
Abdul-Jabbar can't get it to go. The Heat trail by 3. Outside Dragic. Wade against Jordan. Here's McRoberts. Abdul-Jabbar with the block.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game. Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And he clearly doesn't like what's going on out there right now.
Would you? I mean, how could he like what's happening? Really had to take a time out there and try to figure out a way to derail their momentum.
Here to look at some of the stats for Jordan. Averaging about 27 points per, 6 assists and 4 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
You know, the scheme just seems to run much more smoothly when he's in the game because he knows where everybody is at all times.
Green, he's checked in for the Heat. The Heat trail by 5. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey.
We talked about their defensive game plan, and he said, for Dwayne Wade, you've got to make him a jump shooter and not bite for his pump fakes. When you do that, it's a foul or he's going to go right by you for the dunk. Kevin, Wade known for that deadly shot fake. We'll see if they can stay disciplined.
All right, Doris.
And Dwayne Wade, as we know, one of the best in the business at blocking shots from that off-guard position. Hard to think of a guard who has had as many swats as Dwayne Wade in the past couple decades. One of the best ever.
Here's Dragic, following the basket by Michael Jordan. Dragic kicks to Wade. A fader. No good.
And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the board for them.
Yeah, +5. As you mentioned, that didn't take very long, did it?
The drive by Jordan. And Matthews with the basket on the assist by Jordan. Matthews has got his second bucket of the night.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
And the Heat with some changes. Winslow comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic. And the Raptors also making a change. O'Neal's checked in. Nash drives in, stolen by Chalmers. And now Chalmers running the floor all by himself. O'Neal against Green. He feeds it to Dang. He dishes it to Chalmers. To the right side. 5 to shoot. There's Winslow. That's good. Winslow's got his first 3 points of the game. Toronto leading by 6. Here's Nash. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game. And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
Here's Green. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Dennis Rodman. He's checked in for Jordan. Nash with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. To the left side wing. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Now here's Green. He's coming off a 10-point game against Brooklyn.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates. I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Raptors.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
And Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their own conference and earn in the East.
Now here is Carter after the down. Nash drives in. O'Neal. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Boy, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
And the Raptors did play the other East teams well. Went 500 against the rest of the Eastern Conference playoff teams, too.
And despite that, we know the Raptors had a disappointing playoff run to end the year, but I thought they still showed that they are a power in the East by having another strong season against the conference.
And an interesting look here at the top assisting point guards this season. Setting up teammates, being a playmaker. One of the hallmarks of being a premier point guard in the NBA. Number 1, Steve Nash.
And he's been doing everything you want from that position, getting everyone involved, making sure the defense has to worry about all 5 guys on the court.
And he's been doing it better than any other point guard in the league. That assist total of his makes that perfectly clear. I mean, he's the best distributor in the game right now.
And Chalmers kicks to Dang. Now here's Winslow. Rodman covering. Abdul-Jabbar with the block.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've brought it in terms of having another level of intensity right from the tip.
Now, here is O'Neal. And the game with Charlotte, he did not play well. Chalmers with it. Guarded now by Nash. Fades and shoots. Toronto grabs the miss. They went to Miami for their last meeting with the Heat and came out with a win.
Yeah, a dominant win for them their last time in this matchup. And what jumps off the stat page was their advantage on the boards.
Yeah, they were overpowering it inside, and you've really got to like their chances, Greg, if they can replicate that tonight.
Now, here's Green. Vince Carter missing his last shot. Green passes to Dang. Over to the left wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's Winslow, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And one thing we know about Justice Winslow, he is great on the big stage. He was amazing in the tournament for Duke a season ago. Got better and better as he helped his school capture the national championship.
No good on that one. With Winslow, it's all about improvement and being great on the big stage. I think he can do that, Greg. You talked about, what he did in that national championship run. Clark, he was a fantastic foundation to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? He's not got many holes in his game. Solid at the defensive end, can score a lot of ways, puts his hands on winning at both ends of the floor.
And he's good on the second.
And the Miami Heat have finished in the top 2 spots or better in each of the years the big 3 were in town. Last season that changed as they would end up 10th in that Eastern Conference.
Now here is Carter. 20 points for him last game against Charlotte.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
Carter with it, guarded by Green. And it's Carter again missing. And for the Heat, once the bullies of the Eastern Conference, they had a lot of trouble keeping up with other Eastern Conference teams.
Kevin, they finished 25-27 against the rest of the conference, played under 500 against the East at home, which really negated their chances for the playoffs.
The Heat have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
And this year, they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
Toronto was a strong team on the road last season, Clark. A big part of why they came away with 49 wins on the season.
And 22 of those 49 wins were on the road. As a group, they managed to keep things close on the road. And because of that competitiveness, they were over 500 there as well.
Now here is Carter. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
Giving up too many open shots. I mean, that's what's happening here, Greg. They look to me to be a bit sluggish.
Here's Dang. Following the basket by Shaquille O'Neal. Such a wide open look. Green's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Nash against Chalmers. Nash dishes to Abdul-Jabbar. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. They get Luol Deng. The Raptors have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
And the second free throw, good. Five seconds left in the first quarter. Chalmers. That misses, would have counted had it gone in. And that does it for the first quarter. It's the Raptors up by 9. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
Toronto leading by 9. Dragic is out there with Johnson. Then there's Dwayne Wade. Then it's Dang. And it's Stoudemire in at the 5. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Matthews goes in. And the rejection by Stoudemire. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And Toronto making a change here. Kemp's checked in. And he lobs it up, and the dunk by Jordan.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Now, here's Dragic. Knocked away. Fast break, Toronto. And here they go. Wade with the block. Nash against Dragic. A nice shot by Nash.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor with their offense in the paint because that has not been up to par.
Here's Wade. Steve Nash making his last shot. Wade kicks to Dang. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. To the paint, here's Nash. Nice pass, led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Michael Jordan.
Nash has got the lead up to 13 now for the Raptors. Wade outside. Dang, a screen on Jordan. Jordan against Wade. On the wing, Dang. Outside, Dragic. 6 to shoot. And it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Boy, Stoudemire doing a nice job setting that screen. Very nice.
Yao, he's checked in for the Raptors.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season, said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix and to South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and did something else.
Here's Wade following the basket by Michael Jordan. A shot by Stoudemire, no good.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. I mean, no way you expect him to miss that shot.
A different look for Miami. Josh McRoberts has checked in for Dang. And it's Green in for Johnson. Raptors leading by 13. Here's Kemp. And again, it's Toronto converting.
And that's going to increase the field goal percentage even more. They have a huge edge in that category.
And that's because they've been playing smart basketball. I mean, they've been very patient offensively, and their shot selection has been superb. Well, you know, you look at the Raptors, and they improved in a number of ways last season, but their bench play was one of their bigger improvements. I mean, they had one of the weaker benches in the league in 2014, but they flipped that around last year.
While we've got a moment, let's now take a look at the teams that had the most second chance points on the season. Number one, the Raptors.
You know, they've been so aggressive on the offensive boards, and they're earning every one of those second chance buckets with that relentless effort.
The Heat trail by 15. Greg, one thing about the Raptors last year, they made the moves they needed to in order to be sure to fix their bench, strengthen their bench. It showed on paper and in person.
Yeah, credit their front office. In 2014, they had a bottom 5 bench in terms of scoring. Last season, they flipped that, became a top 5 bench in terms of that scoring, and even had the 6th man of the year leading the way.
Lou Williams. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. The screen from Kemp goes up off the pick, and the dunk by Jordan.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
And how about the offensive rebound with a little extra punch on the putback?
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe.
Well, I don't think it would be a bad idea, Kevin. I mean, they could use all the second chance points they can get.
Now, here's Green. Yao Ming missing his last shot. Stoudemire, the screen. Green kicks to Stoudemire. 5 on the clock. Wade with no one around. And it's Wade again missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
And here's Dragic following the three-pointer by Michael Jordan. Dragic kicks to Wade. Stoudemire setting the pick for Wade. Terrific design on the pick play. He lays it in. Wade's got 5 points so far.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play.
taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Now, here's Wade. 17 points for him last game against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways. Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Kempa screen on Dragic. Swiped away. And now it's Green running. He can go all the way. Gets it down to single digits. Green's got 7 points in the game.
And really just straight to the basket with a full head of steam.
Well, if you're going to throw it down, make sure you throw it down with force.
Yao kicks it over to Nash. Yao with a screen on Dragic. Here's Jordan. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And he is a cool customer at the line, guys. You've got to be when you're shooting 84% on the season.
You know, even in games where he hasn't been at his best this season, I mean, he still managed to get it done at the charity stripe when he gets his opportunity. How about Michael Jordan in this one? He has 18 points and 4 assists.
Simply putting on a show.
Yeah, he simply decided that he's going to do it all by himself. I know it's a team game, but every now and then, a guy like him can do it solo.
Clock at 6. Green passes to Dragic. Takes the 3. The shot misses. Nash with some nice D. Raptors leading by 12. Jordan with it. Now guarded by Dragic. Jordan dishes to Kemp, and it's blocked. Now Dragic. Scoring-wise, he's definitely making his mark. Right now, he's averaging about 19 points a game. Wade, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
They set the pick. Right wing. Here's McRoberts. Hits it from three-point range. Nick Roberts has got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Stoudemire, the screen. Dragic kicks to Stoudemire. And that one's good. Stoudemire's got 4 points this quarter.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
And Matthews gets it to go.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Dragic kicks to Green. Stoudemire setting the pick for Green. Pass to Stoudemire. Nick Roberts dishes to Green. And a miss there on the triple.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
And for Gerald Green, another productive year last season coming off the bench. Though it was a smaller role, a small step back from the season before when he started over half the games for the Suns.
Well, there was a log jam in Phoenix at the wing position last season. He certainly matured, though, as he never complained about not starting, just went out and did his job.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Luol Deng is checked in for Josh McRoberts. Winslow comes in for Gerald Green. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic. And Toronto will go for a different look here. O'Neal's checked in for Yao. Abdul-Jabbar comes in for Kemp. Dennis Rodman, he's checked in for Steve Nash. And it's Carter in for Matthews.
For Gerald Green, it's hard to not think about the star that could have been. The 18th pick in the 2005 draft, right out of high school. It was basically athleticism and upside in his game then. He's finally made it in the NBA now, but has improved with skills and guile in place of explosiveness.
The Heat trail by 11. Chalmers passes to Wade. Stoudemire with a screen on Rodman. It's Dang, top of the key. And it falls over the rim and in. Dang's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And talking about Gerald Green, it seems like he's been in the league forever. But he was only 29 years old last season. By and large, he's avoided major injury, so he's still got plenty of tread left on those tires if he wants to keep going at it for a little while longer.
And the Raptors miss again. Miami's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Dang, a screen on Carter. And Chalmers kicks to Dang. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. And that's now 8 points for Luol Deng.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Now here's Jordan. 23 points for him the last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways.
Here's Wade following the basket by Michael Jordan. Now here's Winslow. He has 7. The feed now to Dang. Over to the wing. Stoudemire with a screen on Shaq.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's the Heat with the ball. They trail by 9 points.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backboard has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part. And I'm not talking about leaving the collar.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
It's stolen by Dang. 59 seconds left in the first half. Stoudemire with a screen on Jordan. Chalmers dishes to Stoudemire. It's blocked by Shaq. Rodman passes to Jordan. Shaq with a screen on Chalmers. Dishes it to Abdul-Jabbar. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got assist number 5 here tonight. The Heat trail by 11. And here is Chalmers. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. That's tipped. Jordan against Chalmers. Jordan kicks to Carter. Back to Jordan. Turnaround Jay. And another basket for Toronto.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
And it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. And that's not going to go. And so that brings the first half to a close. Raptors lead by 13. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne, do you think the defense will be the focus for the second half?
Well, it is. You know, we got to get more stops, and when we get opportunities to get out of transition, we got to look up and we got to get the ball up. I think right now we're getting rebounds and we're taking a break. We got to go, man. We got a very deep team. We got to use it. So second half, we're going to look to run a little more.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's Toronto with the advantage at the half. They have a 13-point lead. Your opinion, Shaq?
They had a focus to working inside, and it's working, Ernie. They've done a great job of recognizing mismatches, a.k.a. barbecue chicken down low, taking advantage. He can't guard that man down there, Ernie. The entry passes have been sharp and has led to a lot of points. When you control the paint, you control the game, and they've done that so far.
Kenny, what'd you think about Miami?
Well, the way I see it, they're losing this game because they're being out-rebounded. You can't give up this kind of differential and expect to remain competitive. So what do? You commit more guys to the glass, guards included. You make it a priority that if you do ultimately lose this game, it's not because you didn't rebound.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
Give it up for your Heat. Now, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. What a game we're seeing from Michael Jordan.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all four quarters.
Toronto leading by 13. Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Jordan is out there with Abdul-Jabbar. Then there's Carter. Then it's Nash. And it's Matthews in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Dragic dishes to McRoberts. He had a nice open look right there. McRoberts has got his second basket of the night.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
The shot by Carter, nobody around. And the shot falls short this time. And Miami shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Matthews, that drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got 6 assists here tonight.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Now here's Dragic. Here's McRoberts. Matthews with the rebound. Matthews has got his 3rd rebound tonight.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
And the shot is good. Abdul-Jabbar's got 12 points in the game.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low.
Now here's Dragic. 5 to shoot. Shoots from the elbow. Misses off the left iron.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
And that one's good.
A nice start to the second half. Just one miss in their first 5 attempts.
The Heat trail by 19. Outside Dang. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play.
I'll tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
your Heat Dancers.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He made sure that everyone was on the same page and that the offense needed to run through Stoudemire. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense. And the Raptors have been talking about changing things up in the logo department for a while. Finally, we get a chance to see the new logo this season.
Heat Dancers, let them hear ya.
Why don't we go to the 2K leaderboard? Over the past month, these teams have been playing a very entertaining brand of basketball. Number 1, the Raptors.
I mean, it's about the pace they've played with here offensively. They don't look like they're showing any signs of slowing down.
Three minutes gone now in the third quarter. Nash against Dragic. He kicks it to Stoudemire. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Guys, he's got the length to get to the rim, and when he gets there, you never see a clumsy or awkward finish out of him. Everything is smooth and fluid.
Green is checked in for the Heat. The Heat shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. Free throw, no good for Stoudemire. A lot's been made of the Heat fans in the past for walking out during the finals game where they looked to be out of it. But credit, the Miami Heat fans, Greg, with last year sticking with this team.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I would have walked out as well because I thought it was over. But with LeBron out of town, a lot of Heat fans could have jumped off the bandwagon. But you know what? They stayed with it. So although the weather is fair, the fans are not.
Oh, well said.
Thank you.
Here's Dragic following the basket by Michael Jordan. Green against Jordan. Green left side. Shot clock at 6. Again, the miss by the Heat.
And, for the Heat, despite the struggles, they still sold out every game here last season. They were among the top teams in the league in total attendance.
Back to Carter. Shoots it up. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The drive by Green. Outside Dragic. Miami no good on that time either.
And really, they showed up in force, even as the Heat fell to the back of the pack. The Heat only 20-21 last year at American Airlines Arena, but the fans loved them all the same.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
There's the pass to McRoberts. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dragic has got his 4th assist in this one. Here's Nash. He's got 6. There's a good screen. Pass to Carter. Carter can't get that one to fall.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
The shot by Wade, no good.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Now, here's Nash. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Matthews passes to Abdul-Jabbar. Michael Jordan on the wing, guarded by Green. Here's Carter. Knocks down the 10-footer. Carter's got 6.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
Now, here's Wade. 9 points in the game so far. Open and close and nails it. 11 points in the game.
That's a nice drive there, Kevin. He beat the lone defender and was wide open under the hoop.
Nash kicks to Matthews. There's the dish to Abdul-Jabbar. And that one's good.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
The Heat trail by 20. Outside, Green. Stoudemire with a screen on Jordan. Kicks to Stoudemire. Puts up the baby hook. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You look at what Stoudemire has done so far. He's got 10 points and also a block shot.
And guys, really impossible to say where he's been better, offensively or defensively.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he's not missed a beat at either end. That's obvious.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint, because those have been big.
Winslow's checked in for Miami. Chalmers comes in for Goran Dragic. Yao, he's checked in for Toronto. Shaq comes in for Abdul-Jabbar. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And one thing about the NBA, there are a ton of siblings currently playing in the league. Some on the same team, some on opposing sides, but there must be over a half a dozen sets of siblings.
Now here's Matthews. He's got 14. Here's O'Neal. It's hauled in by the Heat. Stoudemire's got his 5th rebound in this one. There's Winslow. They get it back. And Chalmers kicks to McRoberts. Stolen by O'Neal. Chalmers against Nash. Feeds it to O'Neal. And he drops it in from the low post. Shaq's got 6. As you said, Greg, there are a ton of sibling pairs in the NBA. Even more, Clark, if you include the D-League.
Well, you start with the Plumlees, the Gasols, the Teagues, Zellers. For twins, you have the Lopez twins, Morris twins, the Zellers, Gasols, Teagues, Steph and Seth Curry. Count 2 with the D-League.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And one thing about Mario Chalmers last season, he really had to play a different role. And it took him some time, Greg, to get used to.
Yeah, anytime your team loses a superstar like LeBron James, other guys get asked to do a little bit more. Mario was asked to be more of an aggressive scorer, a role that isn't so easy to jump into after 6 years of being that 4th or 5th option in the offense.
First free throw is good.
You know, going back to Mario Chalmers last year, guys, I mean, having to take on more of a scoring role was tough for him. His field goal percentage dropped 50 points from the season before. His three-point percentage dropped even more. His assist numbers were down. Well, I bet you part of that was the fact LeBron was no longer there.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Deng comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And it's Johnson in for Gerald Green. That one misses.
And on the topic of Chalmers, you know, he's a complimentary player. He can D up, he can hit the open three. He's been known to hit big shots, a solid finisher, and that is valuable. But when you ask him maybe to do a little too much, then you're not playing to his strength.
Here's Johnson following the basket by Shaquille O'Neal. Chalmers with it. He's picked up by O'Neal. Here's Deng. Good work defensively by Yao.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Carter with the bucket.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
Nash up on top, defended by Chalmers. Picked by Yao. Matthews dishes to Yao. Back to Matthews. Yao with a screen on Deng. Matthews, and it's blocked by Deng. And here we go with Deng running it up the floor. Johnson left side. Pass to Chalmers. Deng, a screen on Matthews. Chalmers passes to Deng. Here's McRoberts, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
Dennis Rodman, he's checked in for Matthews. For Miami, they have shot 4 of 7 as a team from the line tonight. Several misses earlier.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Now, here's Yao. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Yao with a screen on Chalmers. And Yao gets it to go on the assist by Nash. And the Raptors lead by 20. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley Clark kind of molded him in his image.
And it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to him.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And let's see now which shooting guards have been on target the most over the last 10 games. The 4th position, Vince Carter.
You know, just ask this group. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. And it's a comforting feeling for a coach to know you've got one of those guys roaming on the perimeter.
And not only can they light it up from the perimeter, Greg, but they get their buckets getting to the rim as well. I mean, aggressive moves to the basket are always going to help your shooting percentage. You got to get some easy ones to shoot a high percentage.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing, and the Raptors making a change here. Kemp's checked in.